Back on call for a couple of days as I burn up my vacation for the end of the year. So, welcome to live chat. Okay, well, I'm glad to see live chat is working. If anyone does come on, if you could let me know if you can hear me or see me, that would be awesome. But yeah, folks, it's another beautiful sunny morning in Texas. And oh, gun show. Hey now, that should be fun. So I need to go check that out, wherever the hell that is being held, because that looks like fun. Okay, moving on. So this morning I'm getting ready for work. Again, it's the first. I've been taking quite a few days off, and then hey, wait, who's that? Hey, Teresa. Good morning. Took some days off, then wound up on a class, and then wound up traveling for work, and then took some more days off. So I'm trying to burn my vacation. Hey, Casey. Hey, Joe. And so this morning I'm trying to get all my stuff together. Hey, Niels. Good morning. Trying to get all my stuff together, find my ID badge, put my laptop in the bag, usual stuff. Hey, what's up, Nanya? And we're sitting there watching the morning news, and I shit you not, they went to a commercial break, and out of 8 commercials, 4 or 5 of the 8 were about pharmaceuticals. Like, oh, if you have this, take this. Ask for Investmo, or whatever the hell they come up with these names for. They try and make it look cute, right? Like, oh, take Linksic, and Linksic will make you better. And then you read the fine print at the bottom, and it causes anal leakage and stuff like that. And oh wait, somebody else snuck in on me here. Who else was in here? Hey, little owl. Hey, Canadian. That's who snuck in on me. And I'm sitting here thinking, doggone, y'all, that's a lot of what is that? I love the side effects. It's half the commercial. Does anyone remember when Saturday Night Live did Happy Fun Ball? It was this commercial of kids playing with like this ball, and it was like, Happy Fun Ball, increase fun and happiness for everyone. It was like one of those spoofs. And then at the bottom it says, beware, side effects of Happy Fun Ball include nausea, vomiting, headaches, possible concussions, possible taking of eyes out, indigestion, incoherence. Do not throw Happy Fun Ball at the head. Do not throw Happy Fun Ball at your pets. Do not taunt Happy Fun Ball. That's basically, anal leakage was literally one of the symptoms in one of these meds. I don't remember which it was, because I'm sitting there, I felt like Shrek. Remember when Shrek and Donkey go to that place and he pushes the button and it sings that song, Welcome to Duloc, and they take a picture of Shrek and Shrek's like this? That's how I feel when I watch these commercials. And it's like, all right, Canadian will be in Texas in February. And I'm just sitting there going, what the hell? One was like, oh, if you suffer from depression, take, Limbluffness, whatever the hell language it is, and you take this Buffalo Puff and it makes you better. But then it says possible side effects is suicidal tendencies. Oh, great. So now I'm going to go from just being regular depressed, hey, ARC, regular depressed, to suicidal, because that's so much better. I get the generic ones like, don't forget to get your flu shot so you don't get the freaking flu, or the flu is mild. I've seen 0 about C19. 0, because now they're in litigation with multiple states and multiple companies, because apparently, and I may be wrong, but my understanding is that if a new product is introduced in that market space, they have a year to report any additional findings as far as side effects, right? Because it takes time. But any side effects they knew at the front end needed to have been reported immediately. And yeah, sudden death. And what apparently has happened is certain entities kind of skirted the rule and reported a bunch of nasty side effects a year or 2 years later, whatever the limit is. But it turns out they actually knew about it on the front end. And it should have been disclosed from day one, and it wasn't. And so, needless to say, now people are like, you violated your own rules, and so now you're screwed. Hey, Cold War, good morning. But yeah, of those 8 commercials, 4 or 5 of them were big pharma, and the side effects were horrendous. It's like one was for not shingles, the skin, where you get the skin flakes and rash. I can't remember what it's called. It was some skin ailment. You guys probably will know it. I just blanked out. But hey, Arc Wild Man, good morning, and Cold War as well. But then it says the symptoms. It may suddenly cause your blood sugar to spike, which can be fatal. Hey, good morning, Moonsprout. Hey, Miss America, good morning. And I'm like, wait, what? Eczema, thank you. Thank you, Moonsprout, eczema. And I'm like, I'd rather have the eczema. And I shit you not, the first one, no pun intended, was a side effect was anal leakage. That's not cool. You know, like, yeah, great. Now, you know, your nose is clear, but you shat yourself in a meeting and now you have to go home anyway, and nobody's going to sit next to you for a week. I mean, what the hell is going on TV? And I know somewhere someone's going, oh, wow, this is great. You know, I don't want a medicine that's going to give me a seizure. That's not good. Hey, Jess, I don't want a free pair of diapers with purchase. You'll need more than that. True story. So I had a good friend of mine and his wife. They were very close to us. We all moved in different directions, so I haven't seen them in a while. And they're a Cajun family, so they're always fun, right? Hey, Kentucky. And his wife is struggling with a chronic illness, but the doctor saw her, and he did his checkup, said, okay, you're doing good, keep managing your symptoms, and then looks at him and says, you need to lose 20 pounds, friend. And he goes, so they put him on this thing called Ally, which was like a weight loss thing. And the doctor gave him very specific instructions. He said, this is very effective, but you cannot eat any of these things because it will end badly. Hey, Virginia Bushcrafter, good morning. And so my buddy, being my friend and being a Cajun, was like, I can eat whatever I want. Fuck everybody. And he ate the wrong things. Anyway, that afternoon, he's in the pantry. His wife's sitting on a stool because she had trouble like with her knees. And so she's sitting on a stool and they're reorganizing the pantry. And he's on his hands and knees pulling something out of the pantry and the closet. They're just reorganizing, and he sneezed. And when he sneezed, he legit shat. He shit his pants, and his wife was behind him. She goes, and she falls off the stool. He tells his wife, oh, damn, baby, I think I just shit myself. And then he hears the thud. So he turns around, and she's on the floor doing this. She said, you're not taking that anymore. I don't care if you're overweight. You're going to find another way to not do this, to lose your weight. Yeah, that's terrible. But again, he did. Hey, Regional Sky Girl, and anyone I missed, I apologize. Hey, Random. Hey, Book Club. You guys you gotta read the side effects. This is terrible. So this morning, for those of you who rolled in late, I'm getting all my stuff ready. I'm on call the next 2 days before I burn some more vacation days. And of 8 commercials we saw during a commercial break in the news, 4 or 5 of them were pharma. But it was, the side effects were worse than the damn disease. It wasn't like, oh, if you have, AIDS or cancer, you take this and it may cause nausea. And, well, yeah, AIDS will kill you, right? So, that's pretty bad. To me, I'm doing a risk matrix in my head, right? I'm like, okay, I have a possibly fatal disease, or I can get high blood pressure. So, yeah, I'll live with the high blood pressure so I don't just die from this disease. But you have a rash and you take something that may cause you to go unconscious while driving. I'll take the rash, I'll get cream. I mean, and I guess I'm speaking kind of snarky because I'm sure if you're suffering a chronic ailment, that becomes a burden psychologically and physically to you. But I'm thinking, sneezing and pooping my pants in a meeting is awful as an option. It was, y'all, when he told me this, and we had been drinking, of course, when he conveyed this to me, I was crying. I could not pull in a breath because it was so funny to me. Those laughs you get where your nose starts to run? That's basically what happened. And then he said, then his wife read the paper, and sure enough, one of the symptoms was anal leakage. And so that became a running joke. Yeah, that's terrible. And folks, I don't understand. This seems to be a very medicated society. And I understand there are occasions to take meds, right? There have been herbal medicines, organic medicines, Eastern, Western. Humans have always tried to heal ailments. There's nothing wrong with that. But it seems like everything has a med now. I honestly feel like this whole movement, the rainbow movement, where they're encouraging young people to make life-altering surgeries to themselves, is not about helping young people. It's hey, Maccabees, it's about, so I did some research, and this number may be wrong, so I'm going to say that in the front end. But if a young adult chooses to undergo a sexual transition to another state, if you will, because I don't know quite how to describe it, so I'll just say they're going to change their status. That's anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 in revenue for hospitals and pharma. And it makes you wonder who's really benefiting from this. I see this weirdness on the news, various weirdness, and I wonder who's profiting. If you go to like the Hamas attacking Israel, anyone, a Cold War could speak to this extensively. The IDF was going to take back that territory. They were not going to hold that ground. What was the purpose? And honestly, I tactically, it was a great attack. But strategically, it served no value because now they've basically turned Gaza into a rubble zone. And the only thing I could think of is someone somewhere made money off of that, right? Because war is a racket in many cases. So, and it's not even obvious because there's no oil and gas there. Maybe it's the offshore gas fields Israel has. I don't know. But regardless of your political views, I always have to ask myself, what is the end game? Who's profiting from this? Right? And this war in Russia and Ukraine, right? They've been provoking each other for generations, but what's the end game? Who's profiting? And seeing that many pharmaceutical commercials in what was essentially not even a 10-minute period, 8-9 commercials, 30-second commercials, 4 minutes. They're bombarding the news, and you think about it, who's watching the morning news? It's working adults, right? It's not kids watching, cartoons. It's people like us. General Dynamics, Boeing, Lockheed, exactly. That's a great way to put it. Yes, those companies are benefiting. I'm sure the Russians are benefiting, right? They're selling all sorts of weapons. Raytheon, yeah, Raytheon's a good one. But it just blows my mind. I really hate. None of the commercials were informative to me. Normally if you say, hey, we have this new product for backpacking. Okay, that's interesting. I'll listen to that. Or we have a new food that lowers your cholesterol. Okay, I'm interested. What's that? But literally, item after item, take a shot. This is an infusion. And these are not like, oh, you take a pill once a month or once a day. This is some invasive stuff. Like, yes, you take, an infusion in your blood. Hey, Militant. Yeah, of course, the government profits as well. And I would love to see a law. I would love to see a law. $42 shipping for a shirt. Canadian, shoot me an email. There's a place called Pirate Ship, and they are like a shipping intermediary, but they get better rates because my wife's Etsy store, she's been saving a boatload of money, and I think they're both in Canada and the US. I could be wrong. If you want to shoot me an email, I can send you some details later today when I'm out of the office. Man's life can be fixed with hard liquor and cigarettes, or just not doing bad shit. You know what I mean? Like, don't smoke crack and bad things don't happen. I mean, I mean, I'm being facetious there, but yeah, a lot of ailments in the old days was you ate meat and bread, and then you had wine, which was the big thing back then, you know, before we got more refined spirits. And, you know, guys would get hit with arrows and be like, give me the wine, you know, because that's basically what they had. And granted, that wasn't a great way to, you know, resolve an arrow in the arm or something, but it's just frustrating. So I don't watch cartoons, obviously. I wonder what kind of commercials are showing up. Yeah, no, I know how crack's made, Joe. I was in the middle of that shit when it broke out in New York City as a kid. That was awful. By the time we were 14, everyone knew the recipe for the stuff, which is sad. That's what I grew up in. But yeah, no, you're right. It just absolutely floors me that that entire endeavor was purely, almost 2/3 of those commercials were trying to encourage people to take meds for ailments that had these meds had these horrific side effects. I mean, some of them literally said could cause stroke, could cause early onset dementia. I'd rather have the painful joints than get dementia. What the hell does it do to you to cause dementia? I mean, there can't be good effects on your body. It's insane. It's absolutely frustrating to see some of that. And I really need to go one day, just flip on the cartoons on weekends, like Saturday morning, and just look at what commercials kids are seeing. Just wonder how much of the environment. Oh, the environment in general, yes. And again, I'm not anti-environmental environmental stewardship. I'm not, you know, oh, let's pollute the earth. Clearly, that's not a good option. You know, we have to have good stewardship of our resources, but for crying out loud, these pharmaceutical commercials and you know, and then the EV, the electric vehicles, which their sales are completely tanking outside of big cities because so Daryl, interesting topic I'll bring up. I probably need to do a whole separate video. One of my friends has younger kids, and we were just chit-chatting, and he said, man, my kid downloaded a game. It was like some stupid game, like Knights and Dragons and whatever. And then he said, all of a sudden, now on his web browser, even though there's filters. Oh, the Tesla pickup must be cool. All the commercials on the game and now appearing on his web browsers are rainbow oriented. And he said, that's really weird. And he said, because I have filters, the kid couldn't look that up if he wanted to, and he's too young, like that's not registering. And I'm like, really? So I said, tell me what game it is. So I found this game, it was like Knights in Shining Armor. I downloaded it, and I found the company that made it. And then I looked up that company on an open web search, and they had like 20 different items, most of which talked about Marxism and rainbow stuff, and then they had games interspersed. So, are you a gamer? Actually, when I have time, yes. That's a great way for me to keep in touch with my sons, as we'll we'll get on Battlefield 4 and we'll shoot each other. We got angry at Call of Duty because it wasn't realistic. You know, if my tank shoots a brick building, the brick building should blow up and the guy inside should get collapsed upon. Comrade Governor here, oh shoot, in the People's Republic of Michigan is making the government's fleet switch over to EVs. It's everywhere. Manson laughs at the... What happened, man? Starter, you can mix it in. Yeah, well, it's true. And that's why my short video the other day was there. That was trending on X. Now, it used to be Twitter. X was exercise is fascist, and it was a fringe article, but then the media picked up on it, and then it just started gaining momentum. There's certain things that when they show up on the internet, it's just not worth reposting because you're just going to give it more publicity. It's like, I'm just going to pass that or delete it because I don't even want to see this nonsense. But yeah, it's just somebody put a comment, but I can't undo it. Last time I tried to undo it, I blocked someone by accident, so we won't do that again. I think it was Kevin. He put a comment, and it wasn't anything bad, but I was trying to release it, and I muted Kevin for a whole live. I didn't realize it till after. Simplest thing in the 80s. Rainbow has been so cool. Well, and that's why I've been saying, like that video yesterday, the exercise is fascist. They made this, it trended on Twitter, it became this huge thing, or X. Why would anyone say that? That makes no sense. Well, it's because we have to accept everyone, and if you're fit, then you're fatophobic or thinophobic or whatever, aphobic. And in my mind, I'm thinking if you have weak men and women, they will not protect their children, right? Hand that rocks the cradle. They cannot resist. Bye, Casey. They cannot fight. They cannot protest. Exactly, Kentucky. They want people unable to resist. You know, there was one video, I don't know who it was. It was a very out of shape individual who's dancing going, Gen Z winning the next civil war. And I'm looking at this kid going, you could not get up the stairs without losing your breath. I am not a young man, but I promise you, if we put on the same weight backpacks, I would smoke you. And, well, exactly, they can't think straight. They're keeping kids up all night. They're caffeinating them. And again, it goes back, I guess this whole rant goes back to, you know, knee replacements are pricey. Canadian, so I've been doing the treadmill, but I don't run anymore. I do every now and then. I'm more double timing because I know better. Yeah. An ACL surgery at my age would not be pleasant at all. Texas Lala, hey. But folks, watch the commercials, especially if you have kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, because this morning alone, and it was during the morning news, which is going to be people like us, adults, and it was illness, farmer, one after the other. For 5 minutes, you just bombarded you with this stuff, and then every now and then was a cereal commercial, you know, and it's like, that's the target audience. The demographic that watches the morning news probably has ailments. Oops. And my phone stand just fell. I guess it's telling me I need to get to work because I just found my parking spot. But to that point, watch the cartoons, see what messages are being conveyed, because I think there's more going on. We all know there's more going on. I'd love to see it, like, pay attention to it. Because I don't have little kids anymore, I'm not thinking about that, you know. And again, with the granddaughter going to stay with us in January for a while, I'm now prepping to add a +1 adult, +1 child. I haven't done that in 20 years. So, yeah, book club, absolutely they do. So I'd encourage all of you as your homework, hey, cigar prepper, pay attention to what the messages are. When you go to Target, you go to Walmart, wherever you go, whether you like Target or not, Go to the stores, look at the messaging in the stores. Uh, because there's a lot more going on than we're really registering. We know it's there, but I don't think we're paying attention to how embedded it's become. And this morning, looking at that, watching those commercials really riled me up. I'm like, really? So yeah, you have a rash or eczema, so now you can take this and it'll cause you kidney function problems, anal leakage, and unconsciousness, and you have to be careful driving. So basically, I could take this thing to take care of my skin ailment, pass out, and die in a car wreck. And it's just, I don't know. I know I'm preaching to the choir because you're all thinking like me, like, what the hell? And this is not a dig on any specific gender or community. It's just the messaging that's going out. Have fun being when your granddaughter's, wait. Well, right now she's so little that mama's there. My bigger concern is mom and daughter-in-law get along really well, and the girls will get in cahoot and cause damage on a credit card. So, you know, fortunately, my daughter-in-law is a very frugal girl. Her mom's a homesteader, so she's of our mindsets. So she's like, you know, she's measuring the money and the pros and cons. My wife, though, can go woohoo if I don't watch them. Book club, exactly. Even if they're going to public school. Yeah, no, I don't want my leaky ass side effect. Side effects may explain potato. Well, didn't he poop the King of England? Like they were in a meeting and then the two old men were laughing because I think Joe farted ugly or something. And I'm sure that shit happens, right? You know, like politicians, you're traveling, airplane, your stomach gets screwed up and you fart a meeting. That may be why they put them so far apart now with the podiums. But in any case, guys, pay attention to the TVs, especially where kids are concerned. I'm curious about what messages they're all getting, you know. Like I said, this isn't anything about the LGBT community or anything like that. I think it's destructive messages that are not benefiting anybody. I think they're trying to push pharma on people who don't need it, and they're hiding the side effects. You know, I mean, oh, and that medicine that does the unconsciousness and the anal leakage and all, it says there are more severe side effects that are listed on our website. So going unconscious in a car, crashing and shitting myself, and there's worse. Yeah, and they're not constructive. You know, it's just dangerous stuff. But anyway, folks, watch the commercials. Watch when you go to the stores, look at the displays and ask yourself, what message is this conveying? And what we're going to have to do is battle that at home. So when your kids come home from school, the grandkids, the nieces, nephews, ask them, hey, what did you learn in school today? What did they tell you? Challenge that shit. We need to, otherwise they're going to run the narrative and your kids will come out all screwed up. And not on my watch. I got 3 good kids. I was blessed. I promise you I'm going to turn my granddaughter into a little Valkyrie, just like I did my daughter. And it sounds like my daughter-in-law's parents are on the same page as Mommy, because they're very good Christian folks, and one's a homesteader, so. But again, for every kid like that, you're going to have 3 or 4 that are just going to sit there in front of their iPad consuming, and there's no parental intervention, and that scares me. Anyway, folks, watch what your kids are watching, look for those messages, and post them, call them out, shit. Anyway, folks, God bless, Godspeed. I got to go catch up with all my paperwork here, so you guys be good, be careful out there.